Good morning. The last class we were discussing about Maxwell reciprocal theorem, right? In that we proved that if there are two systems of force, the product of the first system into the product of displacement, in the product of first system of force into the second system displacement is equal to second system force into first system displacement. So this is what Maxwell reciprocal theorem tells. Now today we have two important theorems and two important concepts. One is principle of virtual work, which is already you have studied this topic in your engineering mechanics syllabus, right? So what do you mean by virtual work? If a system is in equilibrium, you know that there is no work involved in that, and the system remains in equilibrium if you're giving a force, the system is not moving, the points are not moving, or there is no displacement occurring. Okay, so in such cases, in order to find the reactions at the support reactions, we have a simple method such that we assume that a small displacement, say delta, is occurring at any of these points. Okay, and then we assume that this displacement causes a work which is called as virtual work. Okay, if this is AB is the bar which is having reactions at A and B, and you are applying a force here. So initially this object is not moving, this is in equilibrium, and you need to find out the reactions. So for that task, what we will do, we assume that due to this force, this object is moving, bending like this, and is making a displacement of delta, and here also it is making displacement delta. So due to these displacements, virtual displacements, there will be a work. So for this point, the displacement is, if this distance is delta p into delta p will be the distance, and if this displacement is delta b, this is rb into minus delta b, because here the force is in this direction and the thing is displaced to this direction. So the total work due to these things has to be found, and that has to be equated to 0, because actually the system is not moving, right? So actually there is no work involved. So you can equate it to 0, then you will find that work is 0. Okay, so what does that statement? If a particle is in equilibrium under action of system of forces including inertial force, if total work done by forces is 0 for any virtual displacement of particle. It's not if. The total work done by forces will be 0 for any virtual displacement of particle. Or it can be said like that: a particle is in equilibrium under action of system of forces including inertial force if total work done by forces is 0 for any virtual displacement of the particle. See, both these statements are, you can use whatever, both these statements are true. This is inverse of this statement, that's all. Okay, so the statement tells that if a particle is in equilibrium, say this particle is in equilibrium and many forces are acting on this. Okay, the total work done by the forces is 0. So for that, the total work done since this is in equilibrium, the total work done by these forces is zero for any virtual displacement of particle. This is what virtual work theorem states. Or a particle is in equilibrium under action of the vice versa. That means even though many forces are, if virtual displacement is given to this object, then it says that particle is in equilibrium. Okay, we'll see, for better explanation we'll see an example. Consider a system of forces in a spring. Okay, if this is its equilibrium position, I am pulling this up to a distance x, that is I am giving a force F applied, so there will be a tension in the spring. That means spring force will act in this direction. Okay, right. Now if I am giving an extra force from this, a delta x is given. Again we'll see what will be the equations. See, consider a mass I am attached to a spring and pulled by an applied force when mass is in equilibrium. So total force will be spring force and applied force, which will be zero because the system is in equilibrium. We know spring force is minus kx. Since the spring force with x is the distance from spring reference position. Now what we have applied here in this next diagram is, this is the virtual displacement. Okay. Now we apply virtual work method here. Imagine that mass is not in its equilibrium position, but in a non-equilibrium position, x plus delta x. That means a delta x increase in the virtual displacement has been done. Okay, the imaginary displacement delta x is called virtual displacement. Now we define total virtual work. That means in equilibrium what will be the total virtual work? Virtual work will be zero, right? So force in equilibrium times small imaginary displacement delta x. That means spring force into delta x, which is nothing but kx into delta x, is the work done by the virtual displacement, right? Okay, so virtual work of applied force is spring force and applied force, total virtual. Okay, that is minus kx plus applied force into delta x. Okay, that means, see, if the system from this is what the two statement tells. If system is in equilibrium, minus kx plus f applied is equal to 0. This is the equation that we are getting. So this equation tells that the system is in equilibrium, right? That means the virtual work, that means delta w is 0. This is delta w, right? Or you can say that if delta w is equal to 0, reverse. Okay, if this is 0, you can say that the system is in equilibrium. Okay, got it? Okay, so this is very simple theorem, virtual work. Okay, now we will go to a very important theorem, principle of minimum potential energy. Okay, so I will read out the statement first and then I will explain the concept. This statement is very interesting. For conservative structural systems of all the kinematically admissible deformations, those corresponding to the equilibrium state extremize the total potential energy. If the extremum is minimum, equilibrium state is stable. Okay, so what does that mean? We'll see that. Okay, so for conservative structural, what do you mean by a conservative system? See, what do you mean by a potential energy? It depends on its virtue of its position. When an object moves in virtue of its position, okay, it depends only on a position. Okay, so here conservative system means if a object is moving from this to this point, This can move either this direction, this direction, this direction, many directions. But it depends on, for a conservative system, it only depends on initial and final position. Okay, or that points only they will consider. So kinematically admissible deformations means those deformations that satisfy geometric boundary conditions on the structure. Okay, that those deformations that satisfy geometric conditions. Okay, that's all. Okay, so what do you mean by geometric? That means if you are having a beam, you will be constrained in moving at these 2 points if they are simply supported, right? If I am rolling this device at this point, see, if it is rolling like this and this is constrained at this point at my fingers, right? Okay, now we'll see once again what happens. This theorem is very simple. Okay, I'll tell you that. Okay, consider you have a system, a beam which are pinned. Okay, now if you are applying a load, there are many chances of this can deform according to the material, according to the loading type. This can be deformed in many shapes, right? According to material as well as according to the type and point of application, this load can deform in many ways. Okay, but here if you are giving a certain force, if the system is in equilibrium, okay, this system or this beam will deform only in a unique way. So that means the system can deform like anything, but if the system is in equilibrium, it can deform for a certain load. It can deform only like this. I mean, I'm telling an example. This doesn't mean it will bend only like this. Okay, initially the system could have deformed like all these methods, but if a certain value for a force to attain equilibrium, it can bend like a certain type only, or it can bend like this only. Okay, consider a pin system which could attain different deformed states, but for a given force it will only attain a unique deformation to achieve equilibrium as shown in figure C. Right? So minimum potential energy tells that this unique deformation corresponds to extremum value of minimum potential energy, or determine equilibrium deformations. We have to extremize the potential energy. That means at this point the minimum potential energy theorem states that this unique deformation, this point of application, or at this point the potential energy will be extremum. That means it will be maximum as well as minimum, maximum or minimum value. Okay, so at this point, so minimum potential energy states that there will be a point at which the potential energy will be minimum, and at that point the system will attain its equilibrium. Okay, we'll understand it once again by proving it. Okay, now extremum means it can be maximum or minimum. For minimum, equilibrium state is said to be stable, right? Equilibrium state is said to be stable when it is for minimum potential energy. That means if you are having a bowl like this and you are putting a roller here, if you are moving, this roller is moving like this and it is most stable at this point. Okay, now if I am keeping a roller here, this is having a potential energy, right? And this is maximum. Here this is minimum potential energy, right? So, but here it is stable, this is not stable. a small change will make it fell down, right? And the neutral is stable. So okay, we'll go and see the example. So for simple cases, if in a spring mass force system with a mass m and it is moving a displacement x or delta, applied force of F, the spring force is given as kx, right? So the displacement x is given as delta, is given as F by K, right? Now I am going to prove that by applying the same principle using minimum potential energy, I need to get this displacement. Okay, so for that we know that the total potential energy of a system is defined as sum of strain energy and work potential. So total potential energy of a system is defined as strain energy and work potential, right? Okay, now you know that strain energy is given as half into force into displacement, right? Now what do you mean by work potential? It is the negative of work done by external forces acting in direction of applied force on the structure. See, these are very important. See, you consider an elastic structure, say it's a bow and arrow case. Okay, you are applying force. Initially this was its position, and if you stretch it, you are increasing its strain energy, potential energy, etc. Okay, you are applying force here, right? And this applied force is called as work potential, and the strain energy work done to move this thing is called as strain energy for straining. Okay, so this work potential is in this direction, so it is negative of work done by external forces acting in direction of applied force on this structure. So work potential is force, applied force into displacement. So for a string, total potential energy is U plus work potential. U is nothing but strain energy, half into force here is string force kx into x plus minus fx, force applied force into x. Okay, so potential energy is represented as pi here, so half kx square minus kx. So according to the theorem, the potential energy should be maximum or minimum so that the system is in equilibrium. So to do that, we'll differentiate it with respect to x. So dou pi by dou x is dou by dou x of half kx square minus fx is equated as 0. That means kx minus f is equal to 0. You got x is equal to f by k. So in both cases you got the formula x is equal to f by k. Okay, so this minimum potential energy is also applicable. Okay, that means minimum potential energy means it is at the equilibrium state. Simply, it can be stated simply. At equilibrium state, the potential energy will be extremum, maximum or minimum. See, for conservative, now read it once again. For conservative structural systems of all the kinematic admissible deformation, those corresponding to the equilibrium state extremize the total potential energy. So for a system having many deformations, which is applicable for many deformations, okay, to attain the equilibrium state, the total potential energy should be maximized or minimized. Okay, I hope you got this concept. Okay, thank you.